I would like the candidates to open with their statements, just introducing themselves to you. Everybody, you all know who they are, because otherwise you wouldn't be here. So, okay, who's got the coin to decide who goes first?
We ready? Thank you, Vesta, for hosting this again, and thank you all for turning out. It's a great turnout. Sounds like a little bit of feedback, but we'll soldier through. I love these new microphones, but it does mean I have this little pack on my back, which is less than wonderful and doesn't really go with my outfit, but we'll make do. Thank you for coming tonight. As you all know, this is a very important election for the 5th District and actually the county as a whole. And I want to also thank you. I want to actually start out by saying thank you to all of you, because it's been my distinct privilege and honor to be able to represent you in the state legislature. And depending upon where you live in the 5th District, which, as you know, goes from the southwest quadrant of Santa Rosa through Sebastopol, through the river communities, and all the way up the coast, depending on where you've lived in that part of the 5th District, I have represented you for up to 20 years. And together we have made some great strides, and we have addressed a lot of issues in our county, and we've had some great accomplishments. For example, community separators. We've had community separators now for 20 years. It's one of the first things I worked on in elected office. In fact, you will be having the opportunity on your ballot in November to reauthorize those for the next 20 years. We also work together on adopting urban growth boundaries for every single city in the county, so that we as a county can preserve our open spaces, our hillsides, our forests, and our farms. We have also fought the battle to get gravel miners out of our Russian River, because gravel mining has an obvious impact, a detrimental impact to the health of the river. And together we were able to get that practice stopped. We also worked together and we got Santa Rosa's wastewater out of the Russian River. Again, a health threat to what is a drinking source for many, many, many people in this county. As you know, I served in the state legislature on your behalf for 10 years. It was my job to balance the state budget during the Great Recession. And working together, we were able to keep our schools open and our parks open, and so far, our beaches free. So now I'm here tonight asking you to give me another opportunity to work with you for the next several years to see if we can address some of the very long-standing, very complicated problems that we face in our community. Homelessness, we have an affordable housing crisis, we have a less than 1% vacancy rate in this county, we have roads that are crumbling, and we have this entirely new industry of cannabis that we have to regulate and we have to tax. And we have only one chance to get this right. So I'm here running for supervisor and asking you to work with me again so that we can resolve a lot of these problems. And I thank you for coming tonight, and I look forward to talking about a lot of these issues in detail.
Thank you all so much for coming tonight. It is so fantastic to see so many people out here to listen to us and hopefully to have a bit of a conversation with us about how we can make our community a better place. I am not running for county supervisor because I want to be a politician. And in fact, even when I was in kindergarten, I never wanted to be president of the United States. I never ran for, high school student council or anything like that. But I am running for office today because I want to fundamentally change local government. For the past 10 years, I've been living in the unincorporated Russian River Valley, and I'm an organic farmer, so I've been working the land and following a lot of land use issues. And one thing that has struck me is how underrepresented unincorporated Sonoma County can feel. The votes are concentrated along the 101 corridor. Currently, every single sitting supervisor lives along the 101 corridor. And yet for us, out in unincorporated Sonoma County, the supervisor is our local government. And by the way, they're only 1 vote out of 5. So my whole idea is, how do we actually empower the people, in particular the people of the Russian River, to speak up and have a little bit more of an active role in government? So I am proposing forming 2 community improvement districts. one to take place along the Russian River corridor and one along the Sonoma County coastline. Now, I know when you think districts, you think, uh-oh, are they going to tax me more? And the idea is not to actually tax you, but for the first time to return some of the revenue that the county currently takes and siphons off into the general fund from the tourists that come out and visit the Russian River and visit the Sonoma County coastline, and actually empower the community to reinvest those dollars locally. So I would like to work with you to actually form a locally elected, almost unofficial town council for the Russian River corridor for the first time. And to then, as supervisor, work to secure permanent funding so that you can actually invest in local programs, in addressing homelessness, in working on fixing our roads, whatever you as a community decide. I'm also very excited because this would give us public town halls on the Russian River for the first time, since the Russian River Redevelopment Agency, which is kind of the last time that we had regular, open meetings that you could bring concerns to. What I'm really passionate about is community engagement and actually working with you and listening to you. So as much as right now we're kind of going to stand up here and answer your questions and talk to you, I also want you all to walk away with my cell phone and my email and know that I am always out there to listen to your concerns as well. And so that's why we actually held a series of 6 town halls all throughout the 5th District, which is something that I am also committed to doing if I am elected supervisor in November. So I ask not only for your vote, but for your efforts to actually make our community a better place, and that if I were to form these community improvement districts, that someone from Monterey and someone from Guerneville and someone from Villa Grande and Rio Neto would step up and run for office and help us make our community better.